welcome back or welcome to my channel. Hope you guys are having an amazing week so far. I just thought I'd jump on here because a lot of people have been asking me what kind of training I've been doing since my comp. It has been absolutely insane. This training block has been a little bit ridiculous, to be honest. Definitely a lot tougher than I was expecting. So I thought I would just explain a little bit into what I've been doing post-comp and how things are starting to look at the moment. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, I competed at FMG New Zealand about 6-7 weeks ago now. Was a little while ago, and honestly it was the best experience ever. I had the best time. I will try to put some photos up here of how it all came around. Honestly, best experience, had so much fun, and I was super stoked to have come out with 8th in my category, and I beat my last package from my last comp. So it was a lot of fun, absolutely loved it, and definitely going to do it again at some point. I have no idea when, but at some point. Since about start of September, I have been in a bit of a reverse, bringing my body back up to maintenance. Now, with having a few digestive issues and little things going on, my body did bounce back quite harshly after being in prep for pretty much 9 months, from about December to the end of August. So it has been a lot of a mental game just to navigate some of the changes that came with obviously being in reverse and having been in such an extreme prep as well. And training has definitely added up to that. It's been a very, very intense training block. So basically what my coach has done is put me into quite a harsh training block just to help bring my body back, start bringing some intensity, but also just keeping some momentum as well. It has been an absolute challenge, to say the least. Really enjoying training so far. I've been quite lucky in the sense that I haven't stacked on as much weight as I did in my last reverse. But the mental challenge has been the fact that I do deal with quite a lot of bloating, mostly around my lower abdomen. So it's been a challenge in terms of just navigating that body confidence and what my physique is looking like. And just remembering that it has been a challenge. It has been really hard. And to just thank my body for the fact that it let me do that kind of thing and to achieve that goal. And now it's my turn to look after my body again and learn a bit more about how it's all going, which has been really fun. So what I thought I would do is take you through what a week of training has looked like over the past few weeks and how it's going to look for the next few weeks as well. It's been lots of fun. I've hit loads of PBs. Definitely been challenging myself with the sessions as well. So for those that are wondering what my training looks like, let's get into it. Some of it will be mic'd up, some of it is voiceover because I do work at an anytime. It is a commercial gym with lots of people, so I have just tried to be pretty courteous with them, but I'll do what I can in terms of showing you what I'm going through and what my programs do look like. As a reminder as well, I do have one-on-one coaching available. Now, my training isn't going to look the same as what might work for you and what might work for other competitors, even some of the girls that were in my coaching team in the same show, or just going through some of the same experiences. Everyone has a unique experience with training and nutrition and how their body responds to things. Some are tougher than others, and that is absolutely fine as well. So bear in mind, my training is going to look pretty intense and probably look quite different to something that you would enjoy. But if you are looking for a training program that is going to suit you, suit your goals and what you want to achieve for yourself, please get in touch with me. I will drop my inquiry form down in the comments for you to get in touch with me. It takes 30 seconds. You can jump on a call and we'll get you set and achieving the goals that you want to achieve. Even if you want to take the next step and you want to do something like going on stage, running a marathon, high rocks, anything like that, let's get you there. But without further ado, let's get into this week's training. Okay, happy Monday. With this workout, we are doing my compounds workout. Unfortunately, my mic wasn't working for this session, so I did just film it, and I'm going to give you guys a little voiceover here. So I'm just starting off warming up with a nice easy 40 kilos, just getting a bit of a feel for the movement. So here you can see I'm setting myself up under the bar, finding that sweet spot in my traps to set it up, walking back a couple of steps, and then I will be sitting into my reps. Here, what I'm thinking about is making sure that I brace through my core and really drive my knees out as I'm coming down towards the ground to really get down for that 90-degree angle, coming down nice and deep and just controlling the movements, warming up my muscles and getting myself all ready for a nice big set. For this workout, I was doing 5 sets of 8 with a goal of getting up to 80 kilos if I was feeling it for the day, and just getting those muscles moving. It is all about strength and making sure that I had that power coming all the way up. So you can see I'm really trying to push through my heels, driving myself back up. I also have got quite a bit of a hinge. I am a low bar squatter. So with that, just really making sure I keep my chest up nice and tall throughout the movement as well. Once I got myself through a couple of warm-up sets, I started at 40 and then just went up to 50. Then it was time to load up and start getting some working sets. I did this set at 70 kilos. As you can see, I've got the 10s and the 15s. Jumper, of course, came off as well. It was getting quite warm. And again, really focusing on bracing that core, as you just saw. Really coming down nice and low by pushing my knees out, keeping my chest up, and really pushing the ground away through my heels. Unfortunately for this workout, I didn't go over the 70. I just stayed there. I wasn't feeling it as much as I wanted to be, but I'm super proud of the fact that I've managed to build up those squats and keep them above body weight, which was a big goal for me coming out of my prep as well. So yeah, just really focused on keeping that form, pushing through, and just, yeah, kind of fighting for my life towards the end of the set as well. Next up, we moved on to some double leg seated leg press. Now you can see here that I am just using the flat leg press rather than the incline. This is because we really wanted to target my quads and my glutes at the same time and take a little bit of pressure off my knees and my back through this movement. So you can see I've had the seat brought down really, really low to make sure I get a nice range of motion. I'm pushing away from the platform through my heels and really bracing through my core to make sure that I'm just pushing through my legs. It was pretty rough. This one was just a bit of a warm-up set. I did move on to quite a heavy set after this one, and I'm really working on just building up my strength through this movement because I am more used to an angled leg press. So jumping into a seated one, it does feel a lot more challenging for me to actually get through the movement and make sure that I'm getting it done effectively. So it's been a nice challenge in this block, really enjoying it and really just, yeah, working on that strength. So as you can see again, really just working hard, bracing through that core and pushing the platform away through my heels to really make sure I'm engaging through my glutes and quads. I also don't know if I mentioned before, I am working at 4 sets of 15 reps for this exercise. The next one I moved on to was, of course, leg extension. It's definitely a love-hate relationship with this one. Now I am working at 4 sets of 20 reps, really just focusing on repping my way through and really engaging my quads as I'm pushing that pad up towards the ceiling. It's quite a fun machine. I see with my clients that they really struggle with this one a lot, and honestly, I can completely understand. It's the one machine that just seriously like makes your legs shake. I just don't understand why. You can see I'm working really, really hard, just focusing on a nice smooth control, really squeezing through my quads and getting that pad up as high as I can through my legs. Moving on from that, I jumped into attempting some sissy squats. Now, Unfortunately, the gym that I train at doesn't have one of the really nice sissy squat pads that a lot of bigger gyms do have, so it was a lot of improv, as you can see, trying to figure out just how to make this movement work. I honestly had no idea. It was my first time actually trying to attempt these. The last couple of weeks I just swapped them out. So this week I was like, no, I'm actually going to give it a go. And it's just living proof that, even coaches don't know every single exercise. In the end, I actually had to go and ask our club manager if he had any idea on how to do these. And he had the idea of popping some heavy dumbbells onto my feet and just making sure that I was leaning back through the whole movement to really try and get as much range through my quads as possible. Since doing these exercises, I have had some adjustments made and we are shifting things up. But giving it a go was really humbling because I wasn't really able to do these with much weight. Wasn't actually sure if it was as effective as I wanted it to be for the workout. As you can see, I was just seriously struggling my way through these. I did have a go at these with just a light 5 kilo dumbbell as well to see if that would help. But I did need to be able to get myself a lot lower. I needed a lot more range of motion through this one. So it is an exercise that I will be shifting up next week. But having said that, it was a lot of fun to just have a little play around and test out some new exercises. So not mad at that at all. And lastly, to finish up this workout, it was the loved Bulgarian split squats. Now, I like to do these with one single dumbbell. I do like to go for a heavier one usually. At this point, my legs were that fried and I'm just getting used to the training program. So I did go a little bit lighter and just went for a 20. But I do, single leg. I'll strap my hand into the dumbbell as well. And then I use the other side of the rack for a bit of support through the movement as well. So when you're doing it like this, it is really important to make sure that you're not pulling yourself up on the rack and really keeping that weight through that front leg. And then just still focusing on bracing through your core and maintaining balance throughout the entire movement. So I just worked my way through these ones and that was pretty much the end of the workout. I ended up doing 4 sets of 10 each side for my split squats. And then of course, to finish up my session today, I hopped on the Stairmaster as well. I'll see you guys in the next days of training. Tuesday ended up being super busy, didn't work out, so I went for a 5k run. So here's me getting super stoked and enjoy this little edit that I did of my run. Okay, what is up guys? It's Wednesday, today is pull day. So I'm just starting my session today with some deadlifts. Now we're doing box set for this training. So we are doing, I think it's 5 sets with 7 reps. So I'm just starting with a couple of warm-up sets just to get a feel for it. And then I'm gonna start pushing up some weight. Last week I did hit 95. The goal this week is to see if I can get 100. However, I do not have my lifting belt today. So for safety, I'm just gonna see how I go. Fingers crossed this all goes well. I'll take you through today mic'd up. The gym's a little bit quieter, so we'll see how we go with this one. Okay, so for my deadlifts here, I'm going to keep my shoes on for today. These are quite flat shoes. And for my warm-ups, I don't use straps either. So when I'm setting up, I do go about hip width apart from my feet. That's going to give me the best range of motion. My hands are going to go overhand over the bar. Okay, now when I do set this one up here, what I do like to think about is we want to lock literally everything in place, so bracing through our entire body. So what I do here is I do roll my shoulders back to brace down my shoulders and my lats, and then to brace my core, I do drop my glutes down as low as I'm comfortable, putting my weight into my heels. and then I'm going to drive from here. So it's going to look something like this. Bracing everything, locking through, pushing through my heels for that nice tall stand. Coming back down, I am reversing it the same way, okay? So we still want to protect our core and our glutes, our core and our back all the way through. So again, bracing, pulling up nice and tall, and slowly coming back down with it. I do try to keep my shoulders back through the whole movement, coming up to nice and tall standing, and then coming back down with it. Something I also do, especially when I start to lift heavier, is I do reset every single rep to make sure that I'm keeping that control all the way through. Beautiful. My head's also going to follow me through my lifts as well, and that's really just going to protect my back all the way through the movement. That's 7, now for one more. 8. Now I'm just going to walk this one back up to reset the weight for this one. All right, those are feeling pretty good. Going to pop some 5s on just to keep going. Even pulling that bar off the rack, I do still brace my core all the way through to make sure I'm protected. All right, so cues I'm going to think of again, lock and brace, pushing through my heels to come up to standing. My feet are feeling a bit wide for that one. Up, that's it. Warm-up sets are done. I did just double check my program and I'm only doing 5 sets of 5, not 5 sets of 7, which is actually, so I got 50 kilos on at the moment. I'm just going to bump myself up to 80, so I'm going to add some 15s. I'm going to get my straps involved for this one. I think it's about time. These straps are from Sweatsets. It's a small Australian brand here. Oh, wow. These straps are from Sweatsets. It is just a small Australian brand here. Cutest sets. They're so comfy. And the girl that runs it is so lovely as well. So if you are after a set, you do get your straps, ankle cuffs, a barbell pad, and you get a booty bag as well, a little carry bag for them all with this beautiful pink and cherry pattern. You can get those online. I do have a discount code. It is Tanya10. I'll put it in the caption, and you can use that discount code to get the full set as well. Let's get into a set. Rock, brace. I'm gonna give the 90 a go. So I'm just gonna add some 5s and just start creeping up. We're starting to get a bit busier in here as well. All right, let's go in for round 2 of 5. All right, this is getting rough. Last one here. Ooh. I'm gonna leave that one there for a minute. Just keep it at that 90. Go for another set, maybe 2, and I'll think about going up on that top set. But so far, this is still feeling pretty good. It's good. All right, just had one attempt at 100. Crashed out about the 3rd rep, which is fine. Having a nice rest. I'm gonna go in for it one more time, but it's definitely giving me the confidence that next week when I do come back and train, I can push that little bit more and I can come back and go for that 100 again. So this is my last set here. I'm going to be happy if I can get 3. 5 would be incredible, but it's heavy. Very, very heavy. Just for reference in terms of body weight versus what I'm lifting, I'm sitting about, I fluctuate between 63 to 64 kilo at the moment, which is pretty good.
So just over 1.5 body weight. I'm pretty happy with that. So just gonna give this a crack, send it, see what happens, and go from there. So I've still got a whole workout to go. Oh, that's it. You got it. Give it a go. Let's give it a go. It's pretty rough. Form-wise, could definitely do some work, but sent it, got it up. All right, next one we're going to jump into, at the moment, having to rearrange things a little bit because it's quite busy for back day today. So the next one I'm going to do is my machine seated row. So stand this one up nice and tall. I bring the seat right up so I am nice and tall. Going for a neutral grip, so I'm going to be holding inside handles. Nice and easy ones for this one. We're just doing 3 sets of 12, so I started with 20 places aside and see how they're feeling. Chest stays up nice and tall, and we are squeezing the shoulder blades back for that nice contraction through the mid back. Big squeezes through. 4, 5, that's it. $11. One more here. $12. Beautiful. Feeling alright. I've just popped some templates aside. So I've got 30 kilos aside, which is pretty good. It's where I like to be working at. Yeah, I'm out of breath. I'm already tired. These ones are really, really good when it comes to building the mid back. Depending on where you're holding your grip, you've got so many grips to choose from on here. By doing that neutral grip, working a little bit more of the mid back, that's what gives you that line down the middle of your back when you start to build the definition and you start to get that hourglass shape coming through. It gives you the line down the spine as well for that nice big shape, which is always good. That already feels instantly heavier. All right, bracing through. Let's go. I'm about to prove just how short I am. This one, we're going to be doing single arm lat pull downs. Basically, the key that my coach was saying is when it comes down into semicircle when we're doing our single arm pulls. So I'm just going to give that a crack today. I've dropped the weight just a little bit so I can really work on the form. Let's start with my right arm just so I can get a good feel for it. So coming down, I've locked in, sitting up nice and tall, coming down almost in a semicircle. So we're going to be doing 7 single arm of these, 7 double arms following that same form. All right, one side done, straight into the other. Semicircle. Last one. Beautiful. All right, is it feeling okay? Still an interesting movement, but we'll work through. Last one. Feels so much weirder doing the doubles. I feel like I should be doing a proper lat pull down form. Beautiful. It's definitely an exercise I need to keep working through. So I'm gonna have a bit of a play around with that one, but so far so good. Next one I'm gonna jump into is close grip lat pull down. Again, just gonna see what I can do with the angles here. This one is working that mid back, especially in our upper back as well. So the main thing here is still squeezing the shoulder blades back, and we're almost driving our elbows down to the ground rather than trying to pull them down through our arms. So really going for that big drive. Sitting up nice and tall. Let's go. I do like to lean back slightly with these. Getting that nice drive with the elbows down to the ground. Drive. Really getting that squeeze of the shoulder blades as well as I drive my shoulders down to the ground. Aiming for about chin height. to get that nice big squeeze, but not taking too much tension off either. One more, 10, there we go. That did move pretty quickly. These grips are good as well, so you can practice grip strength without using straps. All right, sitting up nice and tall. Again, going for the drive through the elbows, squeezing the shoulder blades. Let's go. 1. And stay it that way. Let's keep working through. Seated row, going for our close grip again. This one, again, we're working on that mid back. Normally I do it a lot earlier. Definitely starting to get a bit gassed on this one. So it's interesting to see how this goes. Normally I'll be working about 45 to 50. I'm just going to drop right down to 35 and make sure that I'm feeling okay before I push for the next one. Going for that really big squeeze in the shoulder blades here. Chest stays up nice and tall. Really bracing through the core as well. You can have a little bit of a lean forward and back as you go, as long as you're mostly pulling through your shoulder blades, really squeezing them back. I'm bringing my elbows past my hips for that nice big squeeze. 10, couple more, body, come on. 1, got one more, 2. I'm going to put it up to that 42 again, and we're going to go. With that, I'm going to use my straps to make sure that I can hold on to it and actually keep the squeeze going at the same time. I'm going to try nice and locked in, pull through. Really bracing through with my heels for this one to keep myself nice and steady. All right, let's go. Big squeezes through the shoulder blades. 11, last one, 12. Definitely starting to feel some fatigue. I'm getting a bit tired now. A few more exercises to go. Just going to keep pushing, see what I can get through. So I do have a client in 45 minutes. I do want to have my dinner, so I'll keep going for another 15, 20, see what I can push through and go from there. So I'll take you guys along for the rest of the workout. I have got some pull-ups that I will definitely do on the assisted machine. And if I have time, bent over rows, and I've got wide grip lat pull down. So I'll take you guys along. I'll probably mic up for the rest of it and do a voiceover. So I'll see you in tomorrow's workout properly for another big day. Enjoy, guys. Okay, not gonna lie guys, I honestly just did my lat pull down to finish off this exercise or this workout. I was honestly pooped from going through everything and had to get to a client as well. So you can see here I have gone for more of a wide grip. So to set this up, I stand up with a nice big wide W with my hands, sit down nice and tall, and I do lean back ever so slightly with my movements as well. Really squeezing through my shoulder blades, driving my elbows down towards my hips, really making sure that I'm engaging through my lats. And that was everything for my pull day. I will see you for glutes and hammies in the next lot of videos. Alright, hello guys, happy Thursday. I've just realised I've had the biggest technical difficulty, apparently, or I'm just blonde. I thought I was recording for the last 15 minutes. Yep, 15 minutes. No, I was not. So I've just been through doing some hip thrusts, as I explained in my last little bit that you guys have no idea. So today is glutes and hamstrings. Look, technology was not on my side at all. My mic was just not having a good day. So you can see that I'm explaining my hip thrusts, but yeah, just don't judge me on my technological issues. Anyway, we're getting into some hip thrusts. I was doing, I believe it was 5 sets of 10 to 12, and we were working as heavy as we could. So at the moment, I have got about 100 kilos loaded up. What I'm doing here is making sure that the pad is sitting comfortably on my hips. My shoulder blades, or the bottom of my shoulder blades, are what's sitting on the bench to help me balance. And I've set my feet up so that when I do squeeze through my glutes, I do get a nice 90-degree angle through my legs. And as you can see here, just really focusing on a nice, slow, controlled movement, really squeezing through my glutes. Some more tips to think about here is really keeping your chin tucked in towards your chest. That's going to really help to protect your spine and make it that much easier to really focus on your glutes and control the squeeze so that you're not getting too much quad or hammy. And if you're feeling your quads, it does mean your feet are a little bit close. If you're feeling it in your hammies, your feet are a bit too far away. So have a play around with these ones before you go heavy, but they are such an effective glutes movement.
Audio Jungle.
Next up, I hopped onto the hack squats, which was an interesting one for me for a glutes and hammies day. It's not something that I would normally put into this program. But what my coach has said for these is we are working with a pre-fatigue sort of structure where we're really burning out my glutes. Then we're doing a couple of compound movements that target my glutes, but not really. Then moving to some more isolated hamstring and glute exercises. And I'm meant to be finishing off with some squats as well. However, today's program didn't have them. So you can see here that I have come up nice and tall onto the platform. My feet are about shoulder width apart. Moved those handles in towards my head for support. And I'm really bracing through my core, pushing through my heels and coming down into the movement as low as I comfortably can, where the pad does sort of hit that safety as well. So it does create that sort of 90 degree as you come down to the bottom, and just making sure you're controlling it all the way back up again.
Audio Jungle.
I did have a little crack at just a light weighted set. It is a pretty heavy machine to start with anyway, and it's one that I haven't used very often. So I'm still not the most comfortable with using it with a lot of weight. So I just chucked some 5s on, went for another set of these ones. Again, just really focusing on form and making sure that I was controlling movements the whole way through. Following on from the hack squat, we had leg press. Getting back onto my favorite one at this time of the week with the angled leg press. Now, I don't know if you do these with shoes on or not, but honestly, shoes off is elite. It just gives you so much more control through the movement, being able to really push through your heels and really just, I don't know, it just really activates everything as you go. So again, we've got a neutral stance. I've got my feet about shoulder width apart. Seems to be the running motto for this week. Really controlling the movement, bracing through my core and making sure that I'm pushing it through, trying to focus more on my glutes. But of course, my quads will be jumping in a little bit as well to really support the movement. Again, it's a really weird one to have for a glutes and hammies day, but here we are. We went for 4 sets of 10 to 12 on this one. I honestly don't know what my coach was thinking about giving me split squats twice in 1 week. So I might have to have a chat with him about that. But I thought I would just take you guys through how to set up your split squats while we're here. This one I did actually give it a go with dumbbells in both hands rather than holding on to the rack like I normally do. So to set these up, you'd grab a seat on the bench, pop your leg out nice and straight, and you're going to pull yourself up into that position. That is generally where you want to be for your split squats to make sure that you're nice and wide. I felt a bit uncomfortable, so I just gave myself a tiny little shuffle back and found the sweet spot of where I wanted to work with my feet. From there, you really want to just focus on balance. As you can see, I'm not very good at my own balance. And to do that, we do that by bracing through the core and really making sure that we're squeezing through our tummy nice and tight. And then just really controlling the movements. I'm hinged over for these ones to really make sure that I can target my glutes more than my quads and really pushing up through my heels. I do keep my head tucked down as well. For me, it is more of a comfort thing. You can have your head up as well. It will help to target your glutes either way. The main focus is just making sure that you're controlled and you find that really good sweet spot for your feet.
Next up, we had a nice easy one, sweet hamstring curls. I say easy because you just don't have to think about them at all. And of course, had to get a little dance break in there just to take the tension off my legs for a hot minute. And look, it was a banger in the gym. It doesn't happen very often. For these ones, really want to make sure that the seat is nice and close up so that you can lock yourself in properly through the machine. From here, we are pushing that pad down by trying to bring our heels towards our glutes, really controlling it back up to give that time under tension to our hammies, and really focusing on that squeeze of the hammies on the way down. A little hack that I do use as well to make sure that I stay in place and can keep that tension on my hammies is I do push against the pad that's on my legs to really hold myself in place and make sure that the rest of my body is secure throughout the entire movement. Lastly, moving on to hyperextensions. Now these are glute focused, so I have moved that pad down to the second highest rungs. That's what's going to sit comfortably underneath my hips and help to support me. With my feet, I've gone about shoulder width apart, but I do point my toes out for these as well. For the movement itself, you want to be hinged over, so you're always leaning down throughout the movement. On the way down, you want it to feel like an RDL, okay? So we want to feel like we're hinging with our hips going backwards. To come back up, it's almost like a hip thrust. We're going for that nice big squeeze through the glutes, really making sure that we're engaging them. And that was everything for glutes and hammies. I'll see you in tomorrow's workout.
Okay, what is up, guys? We're on day 4 of training days today. It is Saturday now. I didn't actually train yesterday. It was a massive day of work. Ended up so fatigued. I had a 3-hour nap when I got home, and when I woke up, my body was just that fucked. I was like, no, it's going to be unsafe for me to train. So we're here today. It is push day. We're starting off with handy dandy bench press. I've just set it all up here. I'm going to start with a warm up on the bar. It is so cold as well. I'm also in between clients, so it's going to be a pretty quick workout today. I'm just going to work hard. My goal is just to get through. I've got 5 sets of 5. I think it's 5 sets of 5 of bench today. So I'm just going to do a couple of warm-up sets and just get straight into it. I've already set up the bench. I'm going to hold onto the bar just outside shoulder width apart. My feet are going to go down firmly on the ground because that is what I'm going to use to push through for power later on. And I like to be used to my form. I also like to pin my shoulder blades into the bench and have a slight curve through my spine. The bar is a bit high, so I will change that later. But from here, bending at the elbows, bringing that bar down towards my chest, big squeeze up. Just going to start getting a feel for it at the moment. This is my workout that I don't like as much as some of the others. So there's a lot of rejigging, setting myself up, getting it ready. That feels better. Much better. I'm going to set myself in for another warm-up nice and quick. Just get myself nice and comfy. Now that I've sort of found the positioning of where I want everything on the bar, it's easier to get to. My feet through the ground, really trying to keep those shoulder blades nice and pinned back. Push. One more. I've just double checked my program. It is actually 5 sets of 8. So just loaded up 40 kilos to get started. Just going to go through the movement, go for the 8, see how it feels. I have been hitting 45 kilos over the past couple of weeks, but I've had a spot and about 42 on my own. So I'd like to get to 45 on my own. Not sure how that's going to go today, but we'll see. Either way, I'm just going to start with a 40, going in for a nice 8. Let's see how that feels from there. Ow. There's a bar there, ding dong. Really want to make sure that everything is all locked in place. Oh, that's feeling heavy already today. Alright, let's do it. that's feeling pretty heavy today. So I reckon I'm going to roll through today and just go for the 40s. Something that I always like to think about is if I know that I'm going to be safe, I will push heavier if I'm feeling good, if I'm ready to send it. Because I don't have a spot today and I'm feeling a bit more fatigued this week because it has been a massive week. I'm just going to listen to my body, still work hard, and just stick to the weight that I know that I can do. So I'll stick to that. If I do feel good, I'll bump up to 42, but probably just going to leave it at that. So I'm going to roll through it. Alright, next one we're getting into is lateral raises. I've kind of just parked up near a bench and kind of got to wing it at the moment. We're doing pyramid sets for these ones. So we're going to go 15, 12, 10, and then drop it down to 20. So I'm just going to start with the 6s and then pray that I can go find a 7 or an 8 for the next one. So what I like to do for myself is I hinge my hips back a little bit. Dumbbells are going to start in front of my body, in front of my quads, nice and close together. I do roll my hands over just a little bit. Now we're just pulling through the shoulders, leading with the elbows, going into a nice big wing motion for these. Really wanting to stay nice and tall, trying not to swing my torso as I go through these ones. 7, 14, got one more here. Nice. We're going to try find a bigger dumbbell. I found some 8s, that'll do. These are one of my favourite exercises because they do just work the cap part of your shoulder. So when you're standing there, you get those nice rounded shoulders and that nice V taper that comes through. Just, I don't know, shoulders on a girl. You just can't beat it, right? Shoulders on a girl. That bench actually just gassed me. I ended up doing 2 sets of 8, 3 sets of 6. So just, I'm pooped. Right, we're going in for 12 this time. Two more. Tough. Just gonna get straight in with this 9. Just get it done. Nice and tall. 7, 10. I've just put a slight bend in my knees to try and reduce the swinging. Come on, body, a few more. Still deciding if this is going to be the last session that I do this week or if I actually do one tomorrow. Tomorrow being Sunday. Normally don't train, but we are heading to the markets tomorrow. I still have 1 session left in my program that I can do, but recovery is also important. So we shall see what happens tomorrow and just take the day as it comes. Like getting the 4 sessions done plus being for a run and having an intense week. I'm not mad. Like I'm actually pretty happy with what's happened and even the progress that's happened this week as well. It's been impressive for myself, I think at least. So that's all that matters. Got to get into this last round. We've got 20, dropping back down to the 6 kilos as part of our pyramid. Let's go. These ones are so deceptive because they feel pretty good to start with, like dropping obviously 3 kilos on either side. But once it sort of hits that like 12 mark, you're like, oh shit. 18, 2 more. Oh, that got hairy. Done. Incline. Bench press. Just gonna get a feel for these ones again. Very similar to our bench press, I do like to make sure that I'm up tall, pinning my shoulder blades in. So I'm just gonna start with the bar again. I don't think I'm gonna go very heavy with these today. I'm going to try getting some baby weights and just put on some 1.25s These ones, last time I did them, I went too heavy too quick. Trying to see out what I wanted to do. I thought I had a bit more for me. I didn't. So let's go start slowly and see how it goes. So little, so tiny. I definitely have a lot more respect for people that, like females that can go into like a push session where it is typically more of a guy's stronger session if you look at a whole. But I just love seeing girls that just come in and send it, like absolutely send it on these days. It's just so amazing. I love it. You got the radio at the top. So we're doing 4 sets of 12 for these. I'm counting that first one as a set. Oh, it's heavy. It's such a small plate. It's hard to go. So yeah, make the 12. I'm gonna hit this one more set again. I'm just gonna go for that 10 to 12 range. Yeah. See what happens. We're in shoulder press machine, which makes me really happy that I don't have to deal with any free weights this time. I think it's 4 sets of 10 to 12. Being short as well, I do have to use my foot to push the handles up into position, but I'm just gonna lean back, make sure I brace my core as I go through. I'm just gonna push through my foot.
I don't know what it is with me and Mike's, but this didn't work either. Basically, just bracing through and making sure we're squeezing through our shoulders to push that weight towards the ceiling.
I think I'm just going to chuck some extra 5 plates on. I like to cross my legs as well. It definitely helps me with my brace. Just get a bit hairy at the end. So let's go. Oh, I definitely felt that. Definitely not ever changing that weight. Just going to work through. Got another 2 sets. Just going to quickly work through those next 2, get them done, and move on. I'm pretty sure it is triceps.
And to finish a nice big week of workouts, I did jump into a tricep superset. Because there were people there, I just went for a quick voiceover rather than mic'd up. So we started off with some cable rope extensions. These are overhead, and I was just aiming for 10 each set. So really just making sure that I'm squeezing through my elbows, keeping my body nice and stable throughout the entire movement, squeezing through the back of my arms. That was superset with some cable rope tricep push downs. Again, not my favorite ones, but we are here, we are getting it done. The goal was at least 10, but going to failure, I can safely say I was struggling just to get that 10. So yeah, that was everything. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in my next video next week. Bye.